this morning. Rees and Ullrich putting the finest face on, as all politicians do in love and war. They are shaking hands and appear the best of friends.
Sitting so comfortably in the white jersey is Jan Ullrich. He's remarkable. I wonder why Jan Ullrich went back to talk to his team manager there. He went back very easily indeed, had a quick word with Walter Godefroot there, probably to try and find out what the situation was with the team camp, how Bjarne Riis was doing, and what exactly he should do.
Well, the way he pedals back to that group there, he makes it look so easy. I mean, he pedals with the same relaxed style, and I think we may be looking at Ullrich in the making here. He is so strong.
He doesn't show any emotion at all on the climbs. He doesn't show any suffering at all in his face. He just looks around to see exactly what is happening with all of his opponents. And yesterday, his response to all of the attacks by Richard Virenque were quite remarkable. He's not a pure climber, but he has the strength and the suppleness to accelerate and respond to all these little attacks.
Jan Ullrich, jetzt scheint doch ein bisschen Gas zu geben.
And it looks as though Ullrich is now trying to make a move, and trying to join him too is Casagrande, who's come up there. Here comes the attack, or does it now? On the far side, Richard Virenque moves out to get a good look of the group. It's showdown time now, of course, because on the climb here there's no descent. The finishing line is at the top, and now Ullrich, who has followed Wheels for 2 days in defence of Riis, is now going to start to stretch them. Ullrich is now coming after them. Has there been a decision between him and Riis?
There must have been a decision. There must have been a serious talk last night. I think Jan Ullrich has decided now. I've been sitting around working for Riis for the last few days. You can now see just exactly how strong I am, and that's what Richard Virenque is trying to do.
Well, there's such a buzz gone up around the commentary position here. I don't think anybody expected him to do this, but in fact Jan Ullrich has sailed past the maillot jaune, Cedric Vasseur. He's now looking to take that jersey for himself. He looks over his shoulder, he sees who's with him. The answer is no one, and now he is going to head up towards the man who has led the race since the previous call, Jean-Philippe Daugevin. So Jan Ullrich has declared his colours. He wants the lead.
But what a game by the Telecom. They've been saying all along that Riis is going to be the team leader. Ullrich is going to work for him completely. Even this morning they were saying the same thing, but once we came to this final climb and Ullrich could see everybody else was in difficulty.
There is the leader, and there he comes, the Express from Germany. He's going to see a white tornado, and there he is. Oh, he shook his head and thought, no thanks. Ullrich has flown by.
Oh, das wird jetzt nochmal heiß auf diesen letzten Kilometern.
Jetzt räumt Ullrich richtig auf hier.
Fährt jetzt vorne raus, gerade eben hat er auch Cedric Vasseur passiert und natürlich auch Marco Ficato.
Nicht umgucken, Jan.
Ullrich now knows 2 men are coming up behind him, and 2 of the best climbers in this year's Tour de France, Virenque and in fact Marco Pantani, who wants to win this. He's won 2 mountaintop finishes in the Tour before. The Telecom had to win the Tour de France, not just one man, it had to be the team, which is why now at last Jan Ullrich has gone out in front, and really he is showing us the class of a rider we will see for the next 10 years.
Ullrich just looking down and keeping his rhythm, checking out who is coming behind. He's still finding a lot of speed. These slopes are still gentle.
Unterlenker fahren, Jan Ullrich, die Startnummer 8, Team Deutsches Telekom, fährt jetzt hinauf. Und ich glaube, den Fehler, den wir gestern gemacht haben, den können wir revidieren. Jan Ullrich wird diese 13 Minuten, 13 Sekunden gegenüber Cedric Vasseur gut fahren können. Und heute, aller Voraussicht nach, der neue Mann in Gelb sein.
Bjarne Riis today, all he can think about at the moment is surviving. Started talking to him, and Pantani said, look, I'm doing all I can at the moment. I can't close the gap. The man's riding away from us.
Jan Ullrich pedaling towards the top in the great manner of Eddy Merckx, who won this Tour de France 5 times.
Well, he is now starting to stretch out that lead. 55 seconds as they went into the tunnel, and that is what the riders face, that final little zigzag up to the finish line.
He is conquering this mountain today, and no problem at all. Now, for the first time in this Tour de France, we're seeing a different face on him. One of absolute determination to pile drive the rest of the Tour into the ground. He's driving as best he can.
Das gibt jetzt mit Sicherheit eine Entscheidung, vielleicht sogar der erste Etappensieg im Verlauf der diesjährigen Tour de France für Jan Ullrich.
He just so impressively sits back on the saddle and powers away. who's now riding into the yellow jersey. No doubt about it, with the yellow jersey now 1 minute 25 seconds back. He's got a Lewis jersey. Olano is also back in that group at 1:25. Bjorn Rees has been dropped by Ullrich. Ullrich is riding into the yellow jersey at the moment. Richard Baron this morning started 1 minute 30 seconds down on Ullrich. Even if he catches him, he will not take the yellow jersey. He'll go to the young German, this tremendously talented man who'll be past amateur champion of the world. He's now showing in the world's greatest bike race that last year's second place was no fluke, but don't forget it's only stage 10 of the 1997 Tour de France, and it's a long way to go to the Champs-Élysées on Sunday week.
Well, you can see the difference in the speed just looking at this group and looking at Jan Ullrich in front. This group now is just surviving. All they want to do is get to the finish and hope that the time gaps aren't too massive. But Bjarne Riis today, you can see the suffering. He's looking at the camera. He knows, I'm not supposed to be here. I don't want to be here. But today I can't rival my own teammate Jan Ullrich. The gap is 1 minute and 15 seconds over the two chasers, and I'm sure a lot more back to Bjarne Riis and the rest of the peloton.
As he comes now up to 1 kilometre to go, this stage is going to be his. He won the time trial stage, penultimate stage of the Tour last year. His first Tour de France, he finished second. Eddie Merckx says one day he will win the Tour, and I don't think anybody would disagree with that. But today he's thinking only of claiming the maillot jaune of the Tour de France, and that will give him a great starting point.
It's quite remarkable to see this man. Very often a world amateur champion doesn't go on to the top of the professional ranks, but this man was champion of the world in 1993. He had an awful hard time trying to keep his training, trying to keep his concentration.
As this wonderful little rider from Germany, a man who I think is probably the best cyclist we have seen on a bike for many, many years. He's ridden all of them off his wheel on the climb today, and all the crowd know it. They know what they're seeing here. The commentators too. I won't forget the buzz when he attacked, because everybody has waited for it. And this is a very, very steep part of the climb rather, but he's still conscious of the fact it's time to zip up the jersey and look smart for the television cameras. His championship of Germany racing jersey. He's out of the saddle, I think, for one of the first times of the whole climb here. As it's 7 hours and 45 minutes, almost 8 hours in the saddle today. This will be the longest stage of the Tour de France for sure. And it'll be an awful lot longer for many, many riders who are a long way behind Jan Ullrich today. It wouldn't surprise me if the pace set by him has eliminated a number of them. He is the winner, to an enormous round of applause and whistles here. Jan Ullrich is home. So this is the arrival now of Bjarne Riis inside 200 meters to go. He has conceded more than 3 minutes to Jan Ullrich. So Riis knows now who he is working for. It is the young man from Germany. Riis comes up to the line in 5th place, 3:22 down.
Goes once again in slow motion, but what a fast ride he did. The victor of today's stage after 7 hours, 46 minutes and 7 seconds of racing. Jan Ullrich rode himself into Record Brooks, taking that stage victory and the yellow jersey. The determination is clear on his face now. He'd been lying doggo throughout the previous 9 days of the Tour de France, working with a teammate for the rest of his squad, both Zabel taking the green jersey in the sprint and looking at the interest of John Rees, whose team was saying that the decision was taken that it was a...
So, the man in the maillot jaune is the leader of the Tour now. Well, here he is, the new superstar of the Tour de France, the man who is making all of the headlines in the newspapers here in Andorra this morning.
But again, it's Jan Ullrich who's ahead. He wears the leader's yellow jersey.